The Pilates move I struggle with the most is the roll up. So I thought I'd show some variations that I learned in my Pilates teacher training through props and also just through your own body. So let's get started with the TheraBand. I love the TheraBand. I carry this in my backpack when I go to class. I carry this to teacher training. Me and the TheraBand go real bad, okay? Because with the TheraBand, I can do a roll up. So we're going to start coming to our mat in a seated position. Legs about hips distance apart. The TheraBand is going to wrap around my feet. You can't see my feet. Okay. We'll go this way. Oops. The TheraBand is going to come underneath your feet, around your feet, about where the arch of your foot is. If you have a long enough TheraBand, you'll be able to really do the full extension with the arms above your head. I don't. So we're going to just make do with what we have because that's the purpose of this class, of this like mini series. So starting with sitting up nice and tall, start to tuck the tailbone and start to roll yourself down, lower back, upper back, all the way down. And now again, if you have the option and the availability within your TheraBand to lift your arms over your head, you'll do that. If not, start to roll yourself up through the head, neck, shoulders, upper back, middle back, coming up into a seated position, and then rolling forward, stretching forward rather. Awesome. We're using the TheraBand as extra leverage to push into as we come up. It also helps us to really engage and tuck the tailbone and press into the imprint of our lower back to get up. Some of us are lordotic, I think that's how you say that word, where we have this arch in our lower back that makes it harder for us to tuck the tailbone to come back up. So using the TheraBand helps us to go slower and really feel that engagement. This will be the last one, doing this. Perfect. Stretch forward. Next, we have our hands. Would you believe it? We can use our own hands to help us with roll-ups. This blew my mind. It's so simple, but it blew my mind. So, we're starting in a seated position. Legs can be bent or they can be out long, feet flexed. I like to have mine out long. Arms in front of us. Tuck the tail. Start to roll yourself down as you would for a traditional roll-up. Arms reach up above head at a high diagonal. We're going to bring the knee into the chest. Hands will find the back of our thigh. Start to curl up, pressing into the hand, up to a seated position. Spine stretch forward. Perfect. Using that connection with the hand and the back of the thigh to help us get up is like the best, but it also helps us again to really connect into that lower back so that we're imprinting onto the mat. For one more each leg. Pressing in, lifting yourself up, and spine stretch forward like I'm pulling your hands. And last one, we'll use the left leg. I like to alternate between the legs because it just feels right. I guess if you wanted to just use one leg as your anchor, you're more than welcome to. But I like to switch off. So I think that was, a really eye-opening movement for me I learned that in Mat 1, and it was life-changing. I just thought I could never do a roll-up, but I can. There are other options to use props when you're rolling up. You can use the small ball in between your hands or your feet. Some people like that. They'll put the ball in between their feet, press into the ball to come up. Same thing with the hands. That is challenging, but it does sometimes help clients to engage into the body, the lower body a little bit more. And another key thing that I learned during teacher training is that the value of a sponge or a rolled up towel or even like a little bunch of socks underneath the low back can help people who have that curve in their low back to have something to press into. So for example, I would take a sponge. I'm going to use this just because. And that helps people, putting it right there, right below their sacrum, helps them to really press in to get themselves back up. That curvature is often too much for people. So try placing a small towel or a sponge or a little tiny pillow. I mean, this isn't tiny, but you know, something small that can give you that extra oomph that you need to really engage into the body and engage into the low body to bring yourself back up. I know I'm just saying a bunch of words, but these are options you have. And I do believe that roll-ups are really challenging, and the options you have to come into the full extension and to participate in the movement aren't often talked about enough. So I hope this helps you. And let me know if you use any of my variations. Or, well, the variations, they're not mine. So I hope this helps you. And let me know if any of these work. Or not. Thanks for practicing with me.